between pan, which is a discarded utensil, and pan, that is a scientific instrument. And I am saying that, to quote people like Rory Lyon, there was always pan. In other words, people always used to pick up a dustbin cover and always beat. Okay? But there was a certain point when some sort of a creative intelligence was brought to bear to the whole process, and somebody sat down and decided to create an instrument that would carry melodies. And that was done in Heliad by a certain individual named Neville Jules.
When the law said there will be no parade on the streets, other bands come and they started playing in the street. They arrest them. And all the drums, they take it and throw it in the dry river. You know, and the must and thing. So all the older men who was there at the time, they stopped playing. But it's not until a long time after that, because see, we end up, who it was into pan now. Started practice there, started use there.
This band was born before me. It wasn't always Trinidad All-Stars. It used to be Heliad Boys, Cross of Lorraine, second fiddle, and it attained the name All-Stars by a gentleman who was there. I remember his name now, Vats. I think it's Vats, yes. He coined the word that these guys are playing like stars, so they got the name All Stars.
It was known as Heliad Band in those days, in the 40s. Then changes came. It was known as Fisheye Band at one time because Fisheye was the captain. Then they changed to Cross of Lorraine. They changed from Cross of Lorraine because they realized the Cross of Lorraine was an insignia that Casablanca had already adopted. So they dropped Cross of Lorraine and they became All Stars after that. It was a name given to them by a guy who left Casablanca and came to All Stars and made an expression. When he heard them play, he said, but all your stars. And the name stuck. All right? And then Jitterbug, who was an old flag waver for the band, he added the Trinidad prefix before the name. And that's how they became Trinidad All Stars.
Jules was a tuner, an arranger, an inventor. He invented the Gongding pan. And when you had rumbling with pans, his strong point was bass and background pans, although he tuned other pans. But people today don't understand certain parts of the development of the pan and what it took.
In 1968, Fitzgerald Jemmott came from the police band. And he used to refer to Neville Jules as the ears man. Ears, meaning he could hear. He could listen, he could stay out there and listen, and if somebody playing something wrong there, he might be able to point out who it is. So keen was his ear, and he never got any formal training in music. But he's a natural. He's so good that he used to arrange all the pans.
Neville was the man who really indoctrinated a certain kind of style, a certain kind of behavioral patterns. He molded a culture in the band. Because I remember going up as a young fella when I went to St. Mary's College and I started hanging around Port of Spain and I was enamored of the band. And I remember going up many a year carnival to start a beat, and every time I see Jules' face I used to just lose all my guts and gumption. And when I tell him that, he said, but I wasn't that fierce. I said, what, you wasn't that fierce? But he was such a, he never used to smile. I can't remember, I see him laughing now and smiling now, but I don't remember him, so he was such a stern person.
I started playing pan. I went to play pan, but I had a fear for Jules, to be honest. This guy, they said, I said, who's the leader? He said, a guy they call Neck. We call him Neck. He died now, deceased. He said, that is the captain there. And I see this serious guy. I was a young fella. This serious guy. Man look too serious, boy. I think I come back down from the garret and I tell Neck, I say, boy, Neck, I can't make it. Well, he gave me a few words. come up, man. I came, but Jules was a very serious leader and a good leader. He was a no-nonsense person. What little I know of him, because I did not spend much time with him, what little I know of him is he was a very serious person, no nonsense, as I said, and a loving kind of guy. He used to help the band, help members in the band. At that time, he had no sponsors.
Neville Jules is he, as I told you before, that gave the name the bomb to the steel band playing non-calypso music on pan. For example, the classics. And I don't think there's a band in Trinidad and Tobago has played the amount of classics in calypso tempo that Trinidad All-Stars has played over the years.
The music of the masters is universally referred to as classical, and the mellow tones of the steel pan can be best described as jewels. So what you're about to experience is aptly titled Classical Jewels 5, fifth of a series of concerts staged annually at Queen's Hall by the Trinidad All-Stars Steel Band. We lead off with a prelude featuring the Lalisienne Suite No. 1 by Bizet and the Angelus by Massenet. The Trinidad All-Stars Steel Band with conductor Jerry Jarrett. By Monty, who wrote the piece as a violin solo. The pan soloist was Clyde Telemac, and when we come back, we'll spotlight Maurice Brash. Finally, we come to a rousing, indeed celebratory piece, The Gondoliers by Gilbert and Sullivan. After almost 8 months of nightly rehearsals, the players simply want to air it out for a change.
It was such that he did not even want to go to Panorama. People had to coerce him to go to Panorama, so that the band's first Panorama was in 1965. The band played a Sparrow Calypso called Patsy. Our first win in Panorama was in 1973. So this is 8 years after we started going to Panorama, and the arranger was Rudy Wells. Rudy Wells used to play double tenor, and he always had arranging in his mind. So he went away and he studied, etc. And while he was studying, he came back and he did Rainorama. He did it because Neville Jules went away in 72 or sometime around there, so that he came back and he did the Panorama piece. He did that 73, 74, 75, I think. Maybe 3 years that he did. He was successful that year, and one of the years, one of the judges after that gave us 0. I think we must be the only band that got 0 from a judge. We played a piece called Trinidad Oil, and the judge claimed that doesn't suit Panorama. So I don't know what could suit Panorama and what don't suit Panorama. But you, the arranger, will know what you could take and do what with. So from there, we learned to accept the judge's decision. And we have been accepting the judge's decision from then to now. Whatever is the decision of the judge, we go with it. We just go. We're not going to court, we're not arguing, we're not making it a big problem.
Well, I know Leon Spoon Edwards for years. At least when he came into All-Stars, he came a little time after me. And he was always a great player. I mean, people don't, he don't portray that today, but he's one of the baddest double tenor players I've ever met. There's a competition between he and Bonnie Wells to see who could play a double tenor better. Them fellows, left hand and right hand, and tell you, as I explained to you, left hand was the left hand and right hand was the right hand. So there's a little competition used to go on between Bonnie Wells, Leon Spoon, and Anthony Guy. They used to be studying music and trying to do all sorts of things, arrangement. They would go in the pioneer early years. Smooth now, we used to put on little songs in between to go and play with the band, and that came the development. Now people see Leon Spoon Edwards today and not knowing how he came about. He tried very hard from within the band. Sometimes people vex with these young people, they want to arrange this, other Jews arrange all the songs. And when Jews departed, that came about. Even when they got to Wells won the Panorama with Panorama in 1973. After that, Smooth still was there. And he began trying and trying. I remember he lost, he come for the best of the rest and so on. And he sat out and he listened and he watched and he saw. And he went and he rejuvenated and came back out a different arranger, studying music and so on. So I will always give Leon Spoon Edwards great credit. People doesn't understand some of the great arrangers that they have in Panorama. Brooksy Sharp, Leon Spoon Edwards, who played for 9 or 10 years before he took really his way up. Same thing with Leon Spoon Edwards. He didn't come right away and came up. Same thing with Brooksy Sharp. Bradley took about 2 or 3 years with the Sparrows before he started to win. So arranging steel band music is not as easy as people look at it, you know.
In the 80s, we will perform these pieces over and over and over and do an elimination process. And he would say, all right, play. Which one we eliminating? And we play, some get played over and over, some get eliminated, till it boils down to about 2 pieces. And half the band sometime playing one, the next band playing, next half playing the other one. But sometimes he will play and then he will say, like 1 year, okay, that's the piece all I like? Right, we're going with it. And you go home and say, right, we play next. Come back next day and you say, listen, that's not the Panorama tune. That's not the tune to win the Panorama. So there's the Panorama tune. Sorry for that. the arranger selects the piece. He brings a piece sometime. Most of the pieces, like the road pieces now, are done by Terry, right? And the arranger now will focus on the Panorama piece. When he brings the piece, I think the band has so much trust in the arranger. We know he is magical, if you want to, so to speak. And from past results, basically, he takes some pieces that hardly any other arranger will choose. For example, the Corita Banker, he takes pieces, he hears certain things that we won't. So what happens is, now choosing a piece, and he brings the piece, the band grasps to the piece. Sometimes a member will always have their personal opinion, but I don't like that, no. I heard this, and I heard that, I prefer this, I feel we could mash up the place with that. And then at the end, when the piece goes down, he explain sometimes, listen, idioms are the key, and I could do certain things with certain songs.
Unknown band. Yeah. I like unknown band, bad, with a passion. Love unknown band, bad. I mean, the Corita Banker is nice for the creativity. But unknown band from Trinidad All-Stars, greatest for me. Unknown band. That's what I like.
Why?
The mood. The whole mood of the song. The way Smooth put on the song. I just find it was just out of this world. I love
In those days,
band that won Panorama, it's either Kitchener tune or a Sparrow tune. All bands, nobody played any other Calypsonian tune except Kitchener and Sparrow since Panorama started in 1963. And then 1980 I'm talking about. And we usually learn a couple tunes, and the one that we feel, settling down nicely, the arranger said this is what he's going with. And at first he said the tune, he put on the tune as a party tune, Woman on the Bass. He wasn't thinking in terms of Panorama, going Panorama with it. But the members warmed to the tune, including myself. And we decided this is what we're going to the Panorama. The semi-finals was on a Thursday night and the finals was on a Saturday night. So you only had one night to rehearse between the semi-finals and finals. Now you have 2 weeks, imagine that. And at that semi-final night, the Thursday, Desperados came first and we were second. They beat us by 19 points. 19 points that Thursday. The Iron Man from Desperado, one of them, Bradshaw, my friend, he died now. He said, yeah, well, you go back and practice, boy. You go back and practice. All right. We went back and practiced, really. And we were there, like 3 o'clock in the morning, boy, 4 o'clock in the morning, people sleeping on the cell. Suddenly, boy, I said, I heavenly music. I just, Smooth just started to do something with the instrument, and everybody wake up. And we went through, and we practiced. And we went through till the morning, till the break, I should say. That was it. Final night when we went up in the savannah. Well, it's history now. We mash up Desperados.
Well, in the 80s for me, me personally, I must say, I really love Panorama. I don't know when we go, to me personally, in a way, I should say, I shouldn't say I really know, but my vibe, when we have it and when we don't have it. All right? I mean, in the 80s, to me, all the Panorama was real sharp, the back, Curry Tabanka hurt me. I really love that. Was a strange song, all right? But I want to come into this realm here, all right? Our arranger at one time had left, came back and kind of come back with a bang. And I should say though, before that, when we do Dust in Your Face, that no steel band in the world, I don't care what it is, ever get an encore. And I felt it before it happened. Like this going on cause problem. And dust in your face. People, we didn't finish the song. There's people that storm the stage.
I think, must mention, if we cannot achieve first place before entering the competition, if our gut feeling is not to win, we will not enter the competition. Another thing too with Orchestras that a lot of people don't know is the bell. That bell that congs the tune has been a part of Trinidad All-Stars from since roughly the mid-70s. And as we move from the yard, going to the savannah, we pose as a team, as a battalion, one behind each other.
In Trinidad Tobago, the steel band man was considered only hooligans. Yes, it was not too long, you know. In Trinidad Tobago, you'll be a nowhereian if you only join a steel band. But look at them now, they're only making progress. Without a row, you could say that they're partakers. They have something to do. So they get in the groove. They want to show to the world that man. Come on, let's go. Yes, the boys going on. Showing the world that they're making fun. I tell you, bam, my friend, when we get to the end, before they make you jump, they make you run, make you want to shake up your body.
I mean, 1-2, you know? Yeah.
What are you feeling like in terms of the preparation?
Well, we know it's one band could beat we in our final if they put them in front of me, but we know we beating everybody.
Who's that band?
The band who they put in front of we last year, then they beat we last year. Yeah.
We're looking good, we're ready, we do the work, we do the drilling,
We're here now to execute. We ready? Well, we want to set up and get the people a taste before we go on the stage. Because this way just feel how the people and they know how you're soon bouncing, what kind of tempo you want to go with when they reach on stage, how, you know, what moving the crowd. But the Panorama moving so fast, you might just get a chance to run it about once, but once, twice, we ready.
95 is great, man. It's excited. But you know that's the name of the song. All Stars. We're on the drag right now. We're going to pause us still in the savannah. I doubt up to now, in terms of the big band, any band up to now going on pause this kind of excitement yet. They ain't caused nothing yet, I sure tell you that, because I hear most of the bands. Nah. Right now also, no, I ain't saying they're ready. Well, they might be ready. No. Right now we ready. Trinidad All Stars, right now, yeah, we kicking. I can't say but we kicking. This is Mr. Clive Telema. Actually, this is the composer, writer of the song, all right? And he have amount of years. I 32. He might make it I'm more like about an earlier 16. I always looked at me.
Well, I came in this band in 1973, so those of you all who are very good at maths will be able to calculate my age. When I was a young guy in those days, you know, I won the first Panorama, the band won at the year I came in, I went back to Renegade. Yeah, after I came back here, but I spent most of my time here. You know, and it has been good to me, shape my career in this thing here that I'm in right now, because that's what I does, you know. Well, there's one guy that died some years ago called Sonny the Tool Allen. When I came into the band, he was a guy that everybody had respected him, you know. He had a lot of time and patience that he used to put out with a lot of the youth. He was always a serious kind of, you know, guy, and once he saw you had talent, he saw recognized talent in you, he was willing to work with you and make sure you go down the right path, you know. And then you have Uncle Jem, we call him Uncle Jem, that was Jerry Jemmert, was the musical director as well. You know, he was responsible for me being on my own as a soloist. You know, I always have a problem with Panorama. I'll tell you why, because we always fight each other and say who should have win and who shouldn't have win. And the pan man really suffering, you know. I want to say this punching they're going to vex with me, but I personally feel that our train is strong as its weakest link. And if you're leaders and they're not doing something positive for the organization, it's a problem for you. And I always say that I don't care who vexes them, because the reality is this. Everybody wants to stick the band interest rather than the movement as a whole. Because a simple thing I want to draw as a fan. One individual could sing for $2 million, a chutney, soca, or calypsonian, right? I have nothing against the art, but why 100 and something people must play for $1 million? When they're paying one person $1 million, we to learn a song with somebody write for him, and you take a couple of days to, you understand? And Panorama practicing for 6-7 hours a day, and 6 weeks during the season. All the organization interested in this to do is to get a 10% from what little that you get. And beside the music festival at Panorama, what they're doing, you understand? So they might sound like I point them, but that's the right thing is the right thing. This is what I'm surviving by. So I'm very emotional when it comes to that. So I really don't care about Panorama. Panorama is just a part of it. Anybody could bring a band for Panorama. But what you're doing after outside the Panorama for the next 9 or 10 months, that's where the test comes. You know?
We saw it viable as individuals. And I think too, All Stars give us the opportunity in terms of crying us around the world and seeing how people are really loving it now. Loving it even more than your people. You know what I mean? So you know personally, listen, if you're destined to do this, the people loving it. Because Telly did solos as a soloist in the band, and I came and do the same, right? And when we're doing solo acts, people loving us, you understand? Because we both tour the world, right? So we've seen it as not just a part-time thing, you know what I mean? This is our career, you know? But then too, as Telly rightfully say, it's kind of unfair for members during the course of the season. You kind of work they put in and really don't get nothing, you know what I mean? Yes, we respect all the arrangers and the tuners, but those are the people who really make the money off of the band, you know? Or what about the players?
Right? In my time, in Spree Simon and those guys' time, them fellas didn't get anything. All they make for Pan is prison and different thing. But they paved the way for us, so we can still come and enjoy it. You know, you could go on a talent show, win a car, win 100,000 and still survive after it. But still, that is not all. We have to make it better for the youth that come in after us, because that's how it is. Everything is in a cycle. Those guys sacrifice, right? Make personal kind of thing to bring this where it is today, right? And now they're starting to accept it worldwide and in schools and in homes and all this thing there, in churches and everything. We had to make it better for the youth still, but they ain't respecting us. So we can't give up because those guys didn't give up. So that's why we have to stick with it just as they stick with it. Hopefully, some good Samaritan going to come in, whether it's in government or whatever it is, and see the need to keep this, you know, and recognize people here for what, you know, for the contributions.
Finals is a different story.
We are sticking to the tradition of hard work. So, apart from the agent doing his music, there's a driller whose responsibility is to make sure the band can execute the music the way he wants to. So it means a lot of repetition, a lot of long hours. It's just how it is, hard work. It's the only way we know how to work.
Silver and bronze. If after the judges' results, and that's so be it, we are humble, and we will try again next time. But first place is the ultimate goal to achieve. That's the bullseye we set.
Number one, watch it. Number one, remember? Right.
You come first.
Good, I think we're going to win. I know we are going to win. That Neil and Massy Trinidad was that one Panorama once again.
Well, I know we are to wait and see. Let's think positive and do we think, man?
Do we think?
You know, everybody just cool, you know. There's a time to be excited, there's a time to remain cool, you know. So right now we're cool, you know. There are times you just got to mellow down and wait for the right moment to, you know, climatic and so on and so on. That's why I find I'm so subdued right now, you know. Just cool and facing myself, you know, pacing myself. We have a few hours again.
Go up there, we have material. Let us go up there and execute to the best of our ability. The time is now. The time is not last week. The time is not tomorrow. It's now when we go up there, execute. We want everybody to concentrate on what you're going to do. Forget what happened a little earlier, forget what happened last week. All the bands tonight starting at 0. Everybody starting at 0. So that this is the hour, this is the hour.
And there's a build-up of the energy. And it starts from in the yard. We are praying band every night. After rehearsals, at engagement, tours, and that brings the family bond, the spirituality. So, on a final night in the Panyard, you just see the instruments, the band is decorated, no one behind the instruments. So, after praying in the yard, we have some pep words.
In spite of the forces that may be around, in spite of the circumstances that seem to trip us up, we have to focus on what we have to do. There's an old African proverb that says, to stumble is not to fall, but to move forward more quickly. To stumble is not to fall, but to move forward more quickly. Maybe we stumble, but that stumble must move us from here, from Heliard, up to the savannah, because what do people they want? Excitement. What do people they want? Excitement. Here's what they also want. They want to be inspired. They want to enjoy something. This place that we call Trinidad and Tobago is longing for something that could lift them to another level. The only steel band Panorama tonight that will do that is who? Thank you very much. Now we have to go up there and we have to make that happen. People longing for memories. This band has a history of memories. All kinds of music that has come from this place. And we are fortunate enough to have with us now people who have helped to create and to sustain that tradition. I want us to take a minute to say a special thanks to some people in here tonight. We have Kelly, who gave us a piece of music. We have Tony, who's doing some magic in the rhythm section and around the band. And hey, we have the smooth man. Here's what. We owe some debts in this band that we call Trinidad All-Stars. We owe some debts to the past because there are some people who have gone on whose shoulders we're standing today. And we have to make them proud. But we also owe a debt to the future. We owe a debt to the children who will play in this band. Children who are not born yet. And what we build today, the tradition, the character, the resilience, the discipline, the dedication, the magnificence that this band goes up to the savannah with is what will take us. And that is what we will pay the debt with. When we do that, put those things in place, the world will know that Trinidad All-Stars was here. We have some things in our control. We have to focus on the music that we have been given. Focus on your instrument. Support the person next to you. Create that positive space around you. And when we go up there, we make it magic. In fact, it's more than magic, you know. What it is? Excitement. Trinidad All-Stars, what do people they want? Excitement. Who giving it to them? All-Stars. Let's go and do it, man.
And it starts someday. Just looking at the band tells a story. All-Stars instill fear in other bands just by looking at us. You don't want to hit a note. So when you reach and the drag now, that is where the real energy starts.
See them go there, right?
And the drag sometimes is more important than on stage, because on the drag the still, if you're in the game, because there are people from other bands that come to interact and talk, nothing wrong with that, friends, but we let them know, listen, see after, you could go and line, drink 2 beers if they wish, after the work is done.
band number 9, the Neil Massy Trinidad All-Stars Steel Orchestra with excitement. And boy, the crowd, I think a lot of people stayed back really to see if they could improve on what they gave in the semi-finals. And a lot of people, and it happens every time, when All-Stars finish play, a lot of people leave for whatever reason.
My immediate question is, how does one improve on excellence?
It's excellence squared.
I tell you, or 2.0 or something like that. We got to find a new terminology for it. You know, I say to a lot of people, you have a good, better, and best. And now this is turning it up a notch from excellent to superb to wow.
With a score of 279 points. Republic Bank Exodus Steel Orchestra. Placing fourth. And this is where the points are very close. Fourth, 281. Third, 283. Second, 286. First, 287. In position number 4, with 281 points, they played a spanking with the Desperados. Third, 283 points. In the minor, in position number 2 with 286 points, and the winners with 287 points. In position number 2, 286 points, Neil and Massy Trinidad All-Stars.
Silver and bronze. If after the judges' results, and that's so be it, we are humble and we will try again next time. But first place is the ultimate goal to achieve. That's the bullseye we set.
Well, the judges' decision is final. But I think they got it wrong this year. They got it wrong. I think they got it wrong. No way anybody could have beaten that tune. As 100 members, Steel Band should gain about 15 million this year. At least 15, 20 million. But this thing would only happen when the panists could start marketing themselves and making certain demands, and they have the power to get things their way, shut down Panorama. If there's a pan engagement in Trinidad, people hardly want to pay. They want to go free. You know, so our mentality is as though Trinidad pan should be free to win. And they don't care about the panists who practicing every night, 3-4 hours every night for about, 4 nights a week. You know, they got families, they got, So when Pan reaches that stage, I would be a happy guy.
Take them from here, carry them here to bring them back. It's All-Stars is the greatest. Simply the greatest. The greatest. The discipline, the dedication adds up to the magnificence. All-Stars is the band.